Annyeonghaseyo. Hi everyone, this is Ariel, one half of Soju for Two, and this is a video, it's kind of like a social video, I guess, life living in Korea. It's a sort of interesting thing I've been encountering, and I want to talk to you guys about it, just get your opinions or see if you've had similar experiences. So this one I'm going to call my You're Really Korean video. So this is a comment that I get a lot from coworkers or Korean friends, guys I'm dating. A lot of times they'll say things like, to the effect of, "Oh, you're really Korean. You're not American." Even though like they don't mean that literally like I'm ethnically Korean. They just mean that like my personality, um, I don't know, the things that I do, my actions are really Korean. And so this is like something that really, it's very flattering, I think. But it also kind of has like a negative connotation to it as well. I've just been thinking about it a lot. Like, I know when my friends or coworkers say it, like they don't mean it in a negative way, because they really like me and they're just trying to relate to me better and they're happy that they can relate to me. Because you hear horror stories about foreigners that are really mean to people and just crazy things that people have done. So I love that they can relate to me. And it's obvious that, like, as an anthropologist, like, I'm good at understanding culture, adapting to culture, just sort of navigating those things really well. And it's something that I really enjoy. And I love Korean culture. So I'm not offended at all. I think it's really cool. But it's kind of like being stuck in between a hard place, like a rock and hard place here, because I have Korean tendencies. Like when I eat food, I'm always sharing food, and I think a lot of those things is just because I'm a twin, honestly. I don't have a lot of that individualistic mentality that a lot of Americans have, because I grew up always as a pair. So my whole life I've never been like an individual. I've always had someone else that I'm thinking about. So it's really hard to be selfish when you have a twin. We all have our moments, but it is, I think, a little more difficult to when you really care about someone else forever. And I think that's how we've been. So I think I'm very similar to a lot of Korean customs, and I understand it. I can relate to it really well. But then again, I am still American. And, of course, I'm, proud that I'm American. I wouldn't have grown up anywhere else. But I just think it's kind of hard because I know when people say it, when they say that I'm Korean, they're saying that like being American's bad. So I don't know. I've just been thinking about that, and it's not that they necessarily mean that being American is bad, because there is obviously a love for American Western culture here in Korea. Completely. I mean, literally, you could do like an analysis of this from everything from plastic surgery, to the learning of English, why I'm here. All of these things are like sort of it's double edged. I think it's like on one hand they are, a lot of people here and in a lot of other Asian cultures, like, really glorify the West, and they want to have Western features, they want to be in on Western fashion and film and things like that. But then again, it's also, there's that xenophobia that, Westerners are bad and they bring bad things. It is definitely double sided, I think. So I don't know, I just have this, like, it's something that's been bothering me a little bit. It's like I'm sort of Korean in my like habits and things like that. And I'm always sharing food. I always have guys ask me on dates. I don't usually ask guys and things like that. Which my coworkers are like shocked about. They're like, all American girls like ask guys out on their own and things like that. I'm like, that's not really my style. But so I do have a lot of Korean. I understand Korean culture because I'm very similar. But then again, like, it's kind of, well, I'm still American, I'm still a foreigner. So it's hard because I'm not really, I don't know, I just feel like I'm in between the two worlds, and it's kind of a little bit like, it's not upsetting, it's just sort of a little sad. Like, I'm definitely not American enough to be like away from everyone else, which is nice. But I'm not Korean, I'm not actually Korean. So, people don't necessarily relate to me because they are afraid of me, or they're afraid to speak English with me. Whereas if I was Korean American, maybe they'd be less afraid, even if I didn't speak Korean, just because I looked like them or I talk like them. I think that's very true. And I know this is true when I have a lot of friends that are Asian, and Asian American, Asian Canadian, and people will just say, like, they'll look at them when they're speaking, and, and with me, they never expect me to speak Korean, and I'm usually the one that can. Or, I've even counted this last weekend when I was at a club, like, this guy who was Australian but of Asian descent, he just was like, "Oh, you can't speak Korean." And then I was like somewhere at a club. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm shocked you speak Korean." Like he was having a hissy fit over this. And I was like, I don't understand. Like, you grew up in another country as well. You didn't grow up here. You don't speak Korean, though you're of Korean descent. Like, so why can't I speak it? You know what I mean? It's just very, I don't know, it's like kind of insulting when people are so, it's a little bit insulting to me at least, when people are so shocked that I can speak the language. I mean, I live here. I should be able to speak the language. I think that's just natural. But yeah, I don't know. So I've just been thinking about this. I've been a little bit like, it's just a little upsetting to me on a couple levels, but I don't know really how I feel about it because I'm not insulted, I'm flattered, but then a little bit insulted. So I don't know. I guess leave comments below if you've had similar experiences or if you just think I'm crazy, because I might be. It's possible. But yeah, I just think it's something that's, I don't know, I get it a lot that I'm really Korean, and I'm like, or I was Korean in a past life. I like that comment because it makes so much sense to me. But it's fascinating to me. I don't know. I think of myself now as like an anthropological study. I'm like, how many people will say this, and what does it mean about my culture and their culture? I like it. But yeah, leave comments if you've had similar experiences or if you have some insight into the situation. Okay, bye guys.